Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Got a light from the window. A little sunshine on my shoulder, I guess, going on right there. At the shoulder. That's funny. So welcome. Today we have our app swap class. This is a pretty fun class. We're going to talk about all kinds of different apps that we have or apps that I really like, and you can share apps that you really like too. So let me introduce myself in case you haven't been in one of my classes. My name is Alex Cooper. I teach the computer classes at the Columbia County Library in Evans, Georgia, the Harlem Library, and also the Uchi Creek now with our new building in Grovetown, the Grovetown Library. So yay. So hope you're having a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me today. So let me go ahead and to class. So, as I always start off every class with, please feel free to post any kind of questions that you have into the chat, okay? You do need to be logged into YouTube to be able to post stuff in the chat, and this is one of the big reasons to come to one of my live classes. I know a lot of people are watching the videos after they've been posted, and that's great, that's awesome, but realize you can't ask questions if you come to one of the live sessions. So the big question I always ask is, how can I help? What questions do you have? What projects are you working on? All kinds of stuff we've got going on for Thanksgiving. And it's really neat because I'm coming up with some really fun classes we're going to do in December. Some animation classes, making snowmen and all kinds of stuff. But we've got our Thanksgiving Day classes coming up too. So let's talk about those a little bit. I'll disappear. We got our little turkey up here. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Blah, 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 blah. There's the best turkey right there. So here's the classes that we've taught throughout this month and the classes that we have coming up for the rest of the month as well. So today we're doing our app swap class, and then next week we'll be starting off doing some Thanksgiving Day classes. Thanksgiving Day Scratch, let's make a turkey feather catch game, which will be a lot of fun. So on the 17th, come join me for that. And on the 18th, I'm going to be doing Let's Draw and Animate at 11 o'clock, a turkey. So we're going to focus on Scratch is drawing tool, and we're going to draw our own turkey and animate it. And it'll be a lot of fun, really fun Thanksgiving Day thing, and maybe something someone could show somebody, say, hey, happy Thanksgiving. Kind of a fun project. So on the 19th, the 18th, the afternoon, we're going to be doing internet shopping and digital couponing. So come join me for that. We'll be talking about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all kinds of the best places, the digital apps and stuff like that. And on the 19th, we're going to be doing the Scratch Let's Make a Feather Catch game again at 11 o'clock. And then that afternoon, we're going to be doing holiday gift and holiday gadget and gift ideas. Okay, so then we'll finish up with some other buying and stuff, and do realize that the 26th is Thanksgiving. Gobble, 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 gobble. So if you're going to be doing Thanksgiving with hopefully a small family, staying safe and everything, because we're staying safe at the library doing all our classes here virtually, no on-ground classes. So please make sure that you're checking out, sharing with friends or family member all our classes and stuff. And then on Thanksgiving, might be doing some Zoom or FaceTime meals with families, trying to stay safe and everything. All right, so let's go ahead and I'll tell you a little bit. This morning we actually did a class about Libby. Libby is our new app for our library. Just on a little side note here, if you are looking for free ebooks and free audiobooks, try Libby. All you need is your library card. It's completely free. When you install Libby, the biggest two things to know is to not look for Columbia County Library, Evans, or Harlem, or Grovetown. Make sure you search for Greater Clarksville Regional Library System, and it'll pull up, and then tap Georgia Download Destination, and then enter your library card, and you'll be good to go. Our libraries are open with limited services and hours. Curbside holds pickup is available. You can go to gchrl.org for details, or call the library with questions Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for updates. Right now we're having a subscribe drive. If we can get 100 subscribers to our YouTube address, get to our YouTube channel, we can get our own customized YouTube address. Or just search YouTube for GCHRL videos and our channel will pop right up. All right, so I'll come back for a little bit here too. And one of the neat things we're going to be talking about is we'll be talking about our app swap. So let me go ahead and I will pull that up, and I'll also post that in our chat. So any questions before we get started? Oh. All right. All right, so I'm posting our handout into our chat. So that's what we're going to be covering this afternoon. All right, so welcome to App Swap. This is kind of a fun class. I had heard that some other libraries were doing this class, so I thought this was a really fun idea, talking about all kinds of different apps. So let's kind of go through some of the apps. Now, if you have an app that I'm not talking about, or if you want to chime in and say that there's an app that you really like, go for it. So I try to break it up into kind of different categories here, and I will disappear because I am blocking our screen there. And a lot of the information, of course, if you're looking for stuff, you can just kind of go to the App Store on Apple devices, or you can actually go, of course, to the Android devices too. The Google Play. All right, so first we're going to start off talking about audiobooks a little bit. We'll talk about Libby, which is free audiobooks with our library, and I'm probably going to say it wrong. LibraVox is one that I had heard of, and I haven't personally used, but I have a family that absolutely loves it. We'll talk about some shopping apps, of course, some travel apps, some phone camera apps. Now, some of them are not free, so I'll kind of point those out that aren't. And also, we'll be talking about some browser add-on blocking, which is a big one. So one of the reasons to have this class is because of that. In the internet class, we talk about some ad blockers on our web browsers on our computer and stuff, but we don't actually really talk about them on our cell phone. So this is kind of gives us that opportunity. Cooking health stuff, some video entertainment as well, free Pluto TV, and we'll talk about that, and then just kind of a list of a whole bunch of others as well. Okay, Audubon, a countdown, all kinds of stuff, free radio. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Excuse me. All right, so let's talk about Libby. Libby is all over the world. All over the world, local libraries offer millions of ebooks and audiobooks. You can borrow them for free instantly with Library Card and Libby, the award-winning, much-loved app for libraries. And of course, our library does support this. I'm going to show a quick little video real quick. Now this is, let me pause it real quick. So this is me recording from my phone so that you can just kind of get a preview of it. The big thing I really like about Libby, again, this is free through our library here in Columbia County. And basically you can, and the big question I get asked about stuff like this, does the ebooks or audiobooks, is there any kind of fines or anything? No, there never is. When their time is up, they expire, and there's no charge to you in any way. You can put books on hold, but I do want you to see that it has a really, really great, if you'd used the previous one, RB Digital, you have to realize this has a really, really great way that you can actually discover new books, and it'll kind of scroll through our different categories here. So if I tap on a book, it'll let me borrow it, play a sample description, and it tells me how long it is. Is it a abridged edition, and how many copies are available as well. And then it gives other suggestions as well, usually by the same artist, or at least in the same genre. So here's our main page here, and it just kind of keeps going, showing us all kinds of books that we could get, the just in books. Here's one that you can actually, it's automated, Talk with Libby, and she'll actually give you information as well. And then we have a Discover and Explore section. So this is like murder mysteries. We've got some kid books in there. 14,000 fiction books, 4,000 romance, 3,000 mystery, 3,000 thriller books. There's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a great book. Here's sci-fi. And then we have our young adult books. And kind of self-help books. And romance stuff. We have our James Patterson, the shorter short story books. There's some DUI books. Oh, one's about fantasy and dragons and stuff. Murder mystery stuff. Now, if you do go, let's see, our next section is, we see what's new. So this is what's new, and it's listing 14,000 audiobooks on here. So basically any of these, there's a Malcolm Gladwell book. You can tap these and, of course, look at them a little bit, give it the description and everything. So we're just looking through the kind of the what's new section. I recorded this about a few weeks ago. And then they have a what's popular. So what I really like is it giving you ideas of books, what's popular on the app, of course. And look, there's a Harry Potter. And the real cool part about this is, and I'll pause for a second, is not only will it tell us, and of course if you try to check out a book and it takes longer to get to it, or it's not available, just try again later. You can actually, you can change the speed of the playback of the book, and you can also change the timer, so it'll have a sleep timer. So after 30 minutes or so, it'll stop if you want to hear a book while going to sleep. And it's going to play a little insert because we can hear a sample, and it shows our player.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Read by Jim Dale. An unabridged performance brought to you by Pottermore from J.K. Rowling.
Chapter 1, The Boy Who Lived.
They're showing the speed playback, and there's your sleep timer.
Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say they were perfectly normal, thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange.
And everything can be done right there in the app. So definitely try out the Libby app. All right. This is LibraVox. This is over 50,000 audiobooks. The big thing about this is if it's a book that's like a classic or something, a lot of books that are non-copyright, like it has, I think all the Sherlock Holmes are on here. And a lot of the times they will actually get volunteers that will record the book and post it. So some of these are not, super professional, I guess you'd say, with sound effects and stuff like that. But they are books that have been turned into audiobooks, okay, by volunteers. So do realize that. But this one is free as well. There's a cost version of that, but you can use the free. Let's talk about shopping a little bit. A big one to recommend, of course, is our Flip app. Some of the really great things about Flip is that not only can you It has all the shopping papers on those as well, but it does have a Black Friday section. So it's November, we have Black Friday coming up with all our really big sales and everything. And when you actually tap on there, it actually will circle it and add it to a list of like a shopping list too. So big recommendation for the Flip app. Now travel, a really big recommendation for is Google Maps, of course. Google Maps is constantly expanding and they're constantly adding stuff. Google Maps is more than just telling maps. It also, you can search for restaurants on your, so if you put in a destination, put in, I want to see a restaurant, it'll actually start listing restaurants that are based on, along your route. That can help a lot as well. So a lot of great information on there, and it's completely free. The Waze app is newer. Waze is actually owned by Google as well. Not everybody knows that. The big thing about Waze is the Google Maps will actually show street view, meaning, show the satellite view. So a lot of the pictures are satellite. I don't have a picture of that, but the satellite view. Waze does not do the satellite view, which is actually surprising. The biggest thing about Waze is that it really tries to be its own community. So you can actually sign in with the free account. So if you turn Waze on, it'll actually talk about construction. It'll also talk about that there's traffic issue up here. Police officer has pulled somebody over to let you know. To be aware if there's hazards, if there's like a car on the side of the road, it'll come up and say that. One thing that's really neat is they've recently added some funny voices, like one of them is Batman or the Riddler, and the Joker one is on there as well, I believe. I think the Joker was on there. I'm not sure. I know the Riddler was on there, but you can actually change your arrow to the Batmobile, and it will do a Batman voice. The only negative thing about the Batman voice is the Batman voice does not do street names. So only thing the Batman voice really says is make a right, in 200 feet or something like that. So he won't say make a right onto, Chestnut Street in 200 feet. So I enjoyed that. I played around with that, went on a trip, a lot of fun, but then he would say all kinds of quirky Batman things. There's a hazard ahead. Maybe the Riddler is, up to no good. And I think when we arrived, he said something in Batman, but it was really neat for a little while. But I really did miss it not giving me the, the street names and stuff. Okay, so let's talk about our camera phone. Of course, our phones come with cameras as well. These are kind of things, taking pictures, kind of in our camera section. Prisma, I really recommend Prisma. It's completely free. The only thing that costs is that if they break them up into separate art sections. Let me tell you what Prisma does. So Prisma, I think I can actually show that. Oh, I know it. Oh, give me 1 second here. Okay, I think I can get this to work the way I want it to. All right, it's loading. I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, so I actually have the App Store open on my computer, and it's not showing all the graphics for some reason. Not sure why. I need to turn that off and then restart. All right, so it's thinking about it. Okay, so Prisma, and I don't see a good example of this, so I'll just go back to what I was reading there. That's funny. So basically, you take a picture with your phone, and Prisma has these filters. But calling them filters doesn't really do them justice, talking about what they do. But it's basically kind of, you take a picture and you go, I would really like this landscape to look a little bit more like Starry, Starry Night painting. You choose that, and it basically does a full transformation. It uses algorithms, some artificial intelligence to be able to do that. And then it basically sends it back, and it's kind of like art. And you can control the amount that it has, a lot or a little bit less. Added to it, which allows it to be kind of fun. You're in control, but they have, it shows there 300 different art styles, kind of going through, just tapping it. What it does is it actually uploads your picture, and it does it somewhere and then sends it back. So it can take about 30 seconds to switch back and forth, but it really is a unique product. The only thing that they charge in there for is if you want other filters, but constantly they're letting everybody try each one. So, but they're all loaded on there. So you just kind of have fun switching through. But it's a lot more than just what someone would say a filter. It's more like an art style. All right, now let's talk about Ink Send. Okay, Ink Send is an interesting app. One of the things you can do is, and the bottom price really is $2. So let's say you got a picture, you want to send someone a postcard with that picture on it. But you go, I probably won't have time, if I printed that picture out and I got it, printed the picture out and I was like, put it in the mail. This company actually will do it for $2. So basically you can put a little note on the back of it. So imagine kind of being on a trip somewhere, taking some pictures, maybe even sending it to yourself, which would be kind of neat. But it's very cheap, to $2 to send something, and they will send it in the mail. Give them the person's address, and that's it, and it's pretty fun. Okay, if you want to pay more than that, I think there's a $3 one that actually has a picture in an envelope. Okay, so the idea is just kind of sending one postcard, and you write your message on the back of it. So imagine sending somebody something. Maybe the two of you went on a trip somewhere. Maybe you are on a trip with family. Send someone a picture, have a note. They can put it on their refrigerator or something. It's pretty neat for $2. All right, so let's talk about our other camera part here. Let's talk about Night Cap. Okay, so Night Capture it's a $3 app. I really recommend it on here. This is one that I have used for years at this point. It's been more than 5 years that I bought it, and it's been very well worth it. I'll be with folks that even have maybe some of the newer phones and stuff, and they'll pull their phones out and try to take a picture of something. And with this, when I turn this on, and usually I can get a pretty good picture. Okay, the best part about it is I won't say it has as many features as the camera Plus does, but the features it have is pretty easy to use. Like I want to take pictures of stars, I press a template button and it just says stars, and then I can see stuff. But usually it knows it's at night, and you can also do very easy streaming lights. A picture like this, you might actually have to have your camera on, still very, very still somewhere. But is it possible with this app? Absolutely, this is possible with this app. I've even used this app to have family have like a sparkler, and they try to write their name or something, and then I can get it streaming, keeping the aperture open and stuff. So a lot of cool effects with this. I've done fireworks like that, streamed fireworks, and it will do video as well. Really like the app. But yeah, called Night Capture. This is camera 2. The big thing about this is trying to get more of a manual part with your camera, so it goes beyond just what the basic camera does. I will say you need have to have a little bit more experience of aperture and f-stop and stuff like that, even than this one does. But remember, this has a whole lot more features to it. But I usually will pull out the Night Capture quicker, so this is for daytime pictures too. All right, so let's talk about blocking ads. Now, the big thing is you can download the other browsers to your phone. This one is an iPhone here. If you have an Android phone, that means you already have Google Chrome installed. If you have a Apple phone, that means that you have Safari installed. Well, you can install on an iPhone, you can install Google Chrome. You can also install Firefox on there. The cool thing about the Firefox, and I'm actually leaning more to using that one, is because it does seem to do a little bit more memory management, because it seems to not have to refresh constantly like Safari does. Kind of remembers what page you were on last, and it will actually help with passwords. But the big thing is it does have a section where I can actually turn on more privacy, I guess. Keeps things personalized more, and it actually, if you turn that on, that will actually start blocking certain ads. Okay, so I won't say it's 100% great. I will tell you I've had it where just on the normal Apple News app or something, trying to go to just a normal news site, and then it's this pop-up, and it's a pop-up, and it's a video playing. It's like, oh man, it's like 5 different ads in there. I'm like, okay, well, I'll open up this in the Firefox with the tracker block on, and then it's like, wow, this is a much better experience. Okay, even though it still had ads on it, but it didn't seem like they were as intrusive, and they were, kind of calmed them down a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead to the blocker part. So the one blocker, this really is designed kind of for an all-in-one on your phone. Okay, one blocker, they have the free version. So the free version only lets you choose to block a certain things. Of course, mine are block ads more than even the trackers and stuff. This is made for Safari. Okay, you tell it what your browser is. This doesn't actually block anything for Firefox that I could tell. And it basically is something you have to go into you install it, and then you go into your settings, turn it on, and then it says to go your settings, do this, and then basically add it to Safari. Now, because Safari is my default browser on my iPhone, that's great. So even using, even surfing and normal tapping, somebody sends you, text you a website or whatever, you tap it, and then boom, you're like, okay, well, why are all these ads on here? The blocker has it in there, and it really is an ad blocker. Okay, so that's called one blocker. So it's important because I do feel like we're focusing on lots of blocking on our computers, but then we might be giving out a lot of private information, most not really private, like reading ads, location, stuff like that. So we do need to make sure we have like a blocker on our devices. All right, so let's talk about cooking a little bit. These are some really great apps. One is called Supercook. You can find recipes you never thought to search for. Supercook is a recipe discovery app offering a personalized menu of recipes you can make using the ingredients you have at home. So basically, you start off. You can start off with what your ingredients are. Okay. And then once you choose what your ingredients are that you have, you can tell it to search for recipes. Okay. So this allows you to say, okay, well, I've got some chicken. Let's see, I got some cream, heavy cream. I got chicken, heavy cream. I got a few spices here, and then just basically say search recipes, and then it'll come up with things that require those recipes. Require those ingredients. Okay. At least to help you get started, get you some good ideas. Now, this is a pantry checker here. The best part about this is that you'll actually know what's in your pantry. The negative thing is you got to make sure to add stuff to the pantry and remove stuff from the pantry. But it's pretty easy because you can do it with your barcode scanner. Okay, so instead of you having to stand there and type in stuff with the barcode scanner, you just scan it and it'll add it. Just have to remember when you use it to remove it. So the next time you're looking at, well, what should I buy? What should I get? Well, what do I actually have? And to give you some ideas of what you have, look through this and it'll pop it up too. Hey Mac, how are you? Glad you're here. Max says, I have an app I use quite frequently, heart rate free. Okay. I use my iPhone lens on the back as a touch screen, and I get a beats per minute. It does blood pressure too. It is recorded along with the activity I'm involved in at the time. Okay, that's really helpful. And it's called Heart Rate Free. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. Oh, hang on. Okay. I'm trying to search and it doesn't want me to search for some reason. Heart rate free. All right, I'm trying to get it load. Anyway, that sounds like a really good app. It is being slow to load right now. Well, I actually see a bunch of different heart rate software on their app store, so I'm not really 100% sure, but that sounds great. That's a great idea. That's a great recommendation. Okay, so let's go into our next part. Let's talk about some video entertainment, okay? A big one is Pluto TV, okay? Lots of free content on there. It's partially owned by Viacom, so it has lots of stuff. They even have they currently have a James Bond channel, which is showing all the classic James Bond movies. Star Trek channel, showing a whole bunch of Star Trek, and CSI channel. Can't really underdescribe this. It's fantastic. Even if you do have streaming services like Netflix and Hulu, this may be a great addition to that. And they also have live weather channel on there, Weather Nation, and some live news channels as well. Some of the content like CNN and some of the rest of them aren't live, but there's a CBSN that is a live news, 24-hour live news channel for free. The only thing is the content has commercials, okay? But it is free. Tons of movies, any kind of movies that you like, cult movies, kung fu movies, romantic movies. They have a holiday channel with holiday movies and a log channel for the holiday Yule log. All kinds of stuff. Big recommendation, Pluto TV, okay? Also, don't forget that YouTube has a tons and tons of content on that for free. Maybe just has some ads on it. The big thing is find content, people that just make content that you like on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to their channel, and all these national corporations, news sites and stuff like that put lots of stuff on there. And in our area, you can get the local news. WJBF News Channel 6 has a YouTube channel, and lots of news articles, news videos that they they actually post on YouTube. So big recommendation there for local news. All right, so let's talk about our TV listings, okay? So this TV Guide app gives you quick and reliable listings for all the major TV channels, networks, and providers in the USA, including satellite and over-the-air. So this is a big one that I recommend for folks that you basically, so the app will show you what's on all the major channels, networks, and TV providers over the next 7 days. Just enter your zip code and pick your local provider, which if you're a cord cutter, you choose the over-the-air OTA, okay? So if you have your antenna, this will show you what's on there, and you don't have to, wonder. So this is kind of like an interactive TV guide. You can also go to tvguide.com and get this information like that, but apps like this is the one I use constantly, and you can actually set it up to remind you of like a show or TV program that's going to come on. So great thing to have. Another one is Google Keep, okay? A great note taker. Now we're kind of in the other category. Ones I didn't really have, couldn't really go into categories, so some of these may seem kind of miscellaneous or random. They kind of are, but here we go. Google Keep notes and lists. Capture, edit, share, and collaborate on your notes on any device anywhere. So Google Notes is fantastic. If you are just using the notes on, let's say, your phone or something, well, I wanted it to, okay, well, that's not what I want it to show. Let's see. Okay, anyway, it's a great thing to use, and it does hook up and it backs up to the cloud as well. So you could actually pull it out and keep your note on there, and then you'll see it on your other devices also. Okay, so it's called Google Keep. If you use the Ever one, I'm trying to remember the exact name of that. I used to use that, but then it would scream at me about I needed to upgrade, and because this is the Google one, it's within my free space with them. It's not necessary to do that, but it's a great organizer, and it kind of puts things up in like little squares. So Google Keep, okay, and it backs up to the cloud in case something does happen to your device. Let's talk about Google Translate a little bit. So it's a text translator, okay. The big thing is you can just type in the text that you want and then choose another language, and it'll translate it for you. And now some of this you may have to have the internet to use it. You can pre-download different languages too in case you were going to travel somewhere. One of the things about this is that you can actually hold it up to like a sign, and if it recognizes it, or you could tell it what other language that is, and you want to of course translate it into like English, it'll actually take that, put text over that. So let's say you were in a restaurant, you could hold this up in front of like a menu or something, and remember this is a robot trying to translate stuff. So just realize that. I have heard that in many languages from people that have had first-hand experience. They basically, to communicate, some other countries, they'll actually pull their phone out, and it has Google Translate on it because it has a conversation part. So if you have the languages set on here, you could actually have a conversation, if you have internet and everything and it's working well. But it will do text as well. So there you go right there. Google Translate, fantastic service, and it's completely free as well. All right, so let's talk about blocking spam calls. Who wants to hear about blocking spam calls? Yay, I know I do, really. So my cell phone company is with Verizon, and we actually get a call filter block for free to download. You have to just kind of set that up. I know most of the cell phone companies now are actually doing something similar. But Haya just gives me another level of support. So it's free. They have a cost version of it, but I've just used the free part. Basically, it's to block spam calls. The good part about it is you may actually get just a message. You can actually set it for your phone not to even ring. So that's why I have it set to that, and it'll actually show like a little thing on the screen, Haya blocked a call because it thought it was a fraudulent call. So then it'll block your phone from even ringing, okay? Tries to show true caller ID. A lot of the times you still see where it says unknown, but it'll pop up and say, I think this is a spam call, and there you go right there. The automatic blocking and the free part lets you do that. You do need to open the app, I don't know, every few weeks or so to make sure that it's downloading, has downloaded the newest updated version. Okay. So this is Audubon Bird Guide. Okay. And I actually have a little video I can show for that. So this is the Audubon app. It's completely free. And we also do a birding class. So it's really kind of leans into that. And it's great for identifying birds. So this is the bird ID. And it just kind of, we're going to walk through here. You can choose bird by color, size, and at the bottom here, it'll actually start showing suggestions immediately. Okay. One of the big things is that it does know where you are based on GPS, and it knows what type of weather, what year it is, and what month it is too. Excuse me. It knows what month it is. So it will show suggested birds that should be in your GPS location area, okay, at that time of year. So it does help out doing this a little bit better than a book would do. But you can see we can choose by type, size, and tail shape as well, and color. There's a house finch right there. That's kind of a redhead. And they have more than just one picture. So there's a juvenile, and realize many birds have different colors based on how old they are or if they're male or female. So you may have seen a bunch of birds. One's gray, one has a red head, and then you're like, what? Those are all different. Goes, nope, those are all the same bird. Some of them are younger, juveniles. Some of them are male and female. And then it goes into descriptions, and it'll do a song too. So it's hard to tell because in the birding class we actually do this tells about our area where it is. We do a part about trying to do bird calls. Bird calls can be very difficult, but it's still neat that it's on there. It'll talk about habitat, the feeding behavior, and also their diet. So if you're looking into feeding a certain type of birds, okay. There's nesting. Now it does have a component where you could sign up and tell the sightings of the different birds if you see one. Talks about their eggs too. And it has a full bird ID as well. So this is sorted by common right now. Just common birds. Remember, it knows what type of year it is, or month it is. Season, that's the word I'm trying to search for. But let's look for a specific bird. Let's look up for a mockingbird. There's our northern mockingbird, very common here in Georgia. And that's an adult. There's a juvenile. So if you saw a brown bird around a more of a gray and white, and then there's that same one. It gets this during the winter. And it talks about its range. And its nesting habits. All right, so that's our Audubon app. Big recommendation on that. It's a lot of fun, especially the bird identification. All right, so this is a really great one. This is called Countdown. It allows you to basically, and it'll count up to, but you can like give it a date, a time, and it'll actually count down to something. I've actually used this to, someone has like a big life change that's going to happen on a certain day. Maybe they're going to start school or something. This is kind of a neat, exciting thing. Pull it up, show it to them, look at it. And it also reminds of birthdays. And of course, you can have it count up as well. So it's called Countdown. So count down to pretty much anything. Just give it a date and you can give it a name, whatever you want it to be. Okay. Yelp, of course, is a fantastic app. Restaurants, recommendations, all kinds of stuff. Click there, find out new places to eat. Maybe it's a restaurant you've never heard of, and then all of a sudden it has like 200 positive reviews. And it's like, wow, that looks actually like a pretty good restaurant. And the good part about it is sometimes in the reviews, people will kind of throw out little tips of, oh, we ate here on a Tuesday and it's less crowded on a Tuesday or something like that. And there, a lot of times they'll actually have sections that talk about, the pricing of the food, or they might have actually posted like a picture of their menu or something. Okay. Now, I'm definitely going to push the Pines app because this is a library class, of course. Pines app is a wonderful app. We talk about this in the library resources class, and of course our Libby class, talking about that. So the Pines app, you can actually have access, have to have an account set up and everything already on the gchrl.org website with your library card, and then you can actually check out books, put books on hold, see what books you have out. You can also see if you have a fine, what the fine is, and you can put books on hold from other libraries, and they'll have them shipped to our libraries and you can come pick them up. This also allows you to easily renew items that you've checked out, and because it's an app, you'll actually get notifications that saying, hey, that book is due on Thursday, and you're like, oh man, thanks for reminding me. And also you can click here and it'll show your library card. So if you're doing self-checkout or anything like that, or if you don't have your library card. There's an app called Google Search. I have an iPhone again, but I went out of the way and installed this. It gives me, basically, I have the ability to use Siri, of course, on my iPhone, but this allows me to do the Google search, and I can do Google voice search as well. Huge information. It makes it a little bit easier on the go, the way they have it set up, than just going to the main Google website, like pulling up a browser and stuff. And another feature it actually has is Google. So if you do the voice search, a lot of the time they'll read you the little synopsis back to you too. So let's look at another part here. Do you see where it shows kind of a picture? This is called Google Lens. This is a huge thing. This will allow you to scan the QR codes very easily. You can search what you will see with your camera, copy and translate text, so it kind of connects up with the translator, find similar apparel, identify plants, animals, scan QR codes. Pretty much anything. It looks for its database and tries to see if it can find something similar or tries to figure out something what it is. A great identifier, and plants or anything. Hold it up, do Google Lens, see what it can come up with. Okay. iHeartRadio is an excellent resource to have. Most of our radio stations locally here are on iHeartRadio. It's the radio. It has commercials and stuff. But the really neat part is, let's say you traveled somewhere, went to a different city, and was like, man, that was a great radio station on there. Or there's limited radio station. I personally like alternative rock, and we do not have an alternative rock station anymore here in Augusta. So I actually listen to the one out of Atlanta with the iHeartRadio app. And it also does podcasts and stuff like that. But pretty much you just pull it up. You can tell the zip code, a city's name, or if you know the name of the radio station exactly, just click search, pop it up, and then you'll be listening to it. So I can't beat, telling you free music. So if there's a type of genre of music that you like, you don't want to have to go through the hassle of looking at a playlist or having like Spotify or Apple Music or something like that. And you just want something that you can tap, turn on the radio, listen to something. There you go right there, iHeartRadio, big recommendation. The other one here is if you are using stuff like the Apple News, you want it to be able to customize it more, get new sources and stuff listed, kind of a lot more customization in there. Try Flipbook. It's really neat. It has an interesting way that it shows its information. So basically, it's mostly news sites, blogs, stuff like that. Weather's on there, sports. So any kind of interest that you have, you can pretty much customize it a little bit and have it pop up right there with the picture and everything. So you can get, kind of makes it into a smart magazine is the way it kind of describes itself. All right, so we're kind of reaching the end of our class here. Lots of great information, lots of great apps and stuff with our flip books and everything. Let's kind of go back over what we kind of covered. So we talked about audiobooks, free Libby books. We talked about the, you need your library card to do that. LibriVox, I guess it's like library, LibriVox, I guess. And then, of course, we talked about the Flip shopping app, the Google Maps, and we also talked about Waze as well. Using our phone camera, Google Photos. We talked about Prisma, the InkSend postcards for $2. Okay. Night Capture, Camera Plus, browser add-ons with our Firefox. And then ad blockers. We also talked about SuperCook and the pantry check with groceries, lists, and everything. Video entertainment. We talked about Pluto TV. And then we talked about different TV listings. Okay. We also recommended YouTube, of course, with an account so you can add subscriptions. And then we talked about Google Keeps, Google Translate, Haya, which is the call blocking service. And we did a little demonstration of the Audubon birding app. We talked about the countdown clock to be able to count down to certain things. We also talked about Yelp a little bit, the Pines app, getting books or DVDs or the CD audio books to check out too. We talked about Google Search and iHeartRadio and also Flipboard as well. Okay. So we have actually covered a lot this afternoon, haven't we? Lots of great apps, lots of great things to kind of get started, kind of focus on them. Mac, you even recommended a heart rate monitor, which is really good. It's a great idea to try that out. Okay. So I'm going to ask if we have any other final questions. Got a lot of fun classes coming up. So I'll tell you about some of our other classes that we have coming up. So the ones we have coming up next week is we're going to be doing some scratch classes. Let's make a turkey feather catch game. That should be a lot of fun. And on the 18th, we're doing scratch. Let's draw and animate a turkey. And then that afternoon, we're going to be doing internet shopping and digital couponing. And talking about Black Friday and stuff. So that's a really good one to come join us for. And then on the 19th, we're going to be doing scratch. Let's make a turkey feather catch game, which would be a lot of fun. And then that afternoon, we're going to be doing a holiday gadget and gift ideas, okay, to get you ready for a gift to give to somebody. some really great gift ideas, and we'll talk about a whole bunch of new tech that's come out this year. And then on the 24th, we'll actually be doing a eBay and Facebook Marketplace, internet buying and selling basics. We're trying to do some shopping classes here in November because we know, thinking about gifts and stuff, trying to get a heads up a little bit about some of that stuff. eBay, Facebook Marketplace, internet buying, and what we also will cover the selling, because maybe you're making some stuff that you want to be able to sell. So the 25th, we'll be doing the Let's Make a Turkey Feather Catch game again. And then that afternoon, we'll be doing Let's Draw and Animate a Turkey. Okay? And then the 26th is Thanksgiving. All right? As I said earlier, we switched over from RB Digital to Libby. The big thing, and we talked about Libby a little bit, the big thing about Libby is basically you install the app on your phone. You don't look for Columbia County Library or anything like that. Search for Greater Clarksville Regional Library System. Choose Georgia download destination and enter your library card number. Okay, this will allow you to download and borrow ebooks and audiobooks, and you'll be good to go. All free from the library. Of course, our libraries are open with limited services and hours. Curbside holds pickup is available. Make sure to thank the librarians for that. It's a great service. You can go to gchrl.org for details on the library being open, or you can call into the library with questions Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For updates, we're actually doing a subscribe drive right now. So we're trying to get 100 subscribers to our YouTube channel, and then we can actually get our own customized YouTube address. Or you can search YouTube for GCHRL videos, and we will pop right up. Okay. All right. So that kind of does it for our app swap class. And we only do classes on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So I'll tell everybody to have a great weekend. I know our weather is getting a little bit cooler here, but stay safe. It's still a good idea to go for a nice walk. And even though it may be get a little bit darker soon, maybe right after, early in the afternoon, have to go for a walk then or something, okay? So stay safe, everybody. I'll see you guys next week. And gobble, 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 gobble. Getting ready for Happy Thanksgiving. Bye. See you later. Bye-bye.